Hi, I'm Scott. Welcome back to my garden for another little video on what you can do in your garden. You can find this video on the My Smart Garden website, as well as many others. This video is we're talking about mulch. Now, I'm sure you've all heard about it, but what is it? We've probably seen the council trucks and things mulching wood chips around stuff, but are wood chips any good for our garden? Is there places where we can use them? Are there other things we can use? Do we need to buy mulch? Can we make our own? Let's have a look at a few of the different things we use for mulch and why we use them. Now, the first lot here, this is just some autumn leaves that I've swept up from my front yard and halfway down the street because I'm not letting any good organic matter get away. And these are great for throwing into the compost as a bit of carbon. They're also great for putting around smaller stuff like seedlings and established plants around trees, all sorts of stuff. As long as they're fine enough, they can be used in just about anything. They don't have much nitrogen in them, so they won't break down super fast unless you make some nitrogen available. Our next one here, now this is an example of some of the stuff you can buy if you're not yet producing enough mulch on your site, so that as time goes on, you'll get more and more stuff popping on site and you'll be able to mulch more with your own stuff. This is a bit of sugarcane, it's organic. As you can see by the colour, there's virtually no nitrogen in it. It's all just nice high carbon stuff. But it is nice and fine. It breaks down well. We know where it's come from. We know that it's not sprayed. But it has been transported a fair way. So there's good sides and bad sides. Our next one here is things like cheap potting mix, but also stuff like sifted compost that can go around the really fine stuff, or even just be sieved with a little garden sieve over newly planted small seeds. It's a great one to do, and of course as this breaks down further, it'll not only keep moisture in the soil like other mulches do, it'll also feed your plants. Then we come on to the coarse stuff, the wood chips. Now you can buy wood chips in bags and things like that. The problem with those is, particularly the ones that have been coloured to make the garden look pretty, is you don't know what sort of wood's been used in them. There are instances of treated pine showing up in them and other stuff like that. There's also not much in the way of nutrients in them for your trees. But if you get the stuff like from your local council, what they give away, or if they're pruning the trees in your street, you can ask nicely, they might drop it off for you. This wood chip stuff, with all the leaf and that breaking down in it, has a great balance of carbon and nitrogen. So it's going to provide nutrients really quite quickly, breaking down very quickly to a nice loamy soil. And you can see on the shot that this is what it looks like after about 3 months. Now, a lot of these are very high carbon, and so what we often combine with high carbon mulches to make them break down quickly is we put some nitrogen in. And one of the easiest ways to do that is just some chicken poo pellets, which are bought by the bag. They're a byproduct of the poultry industry, and the good thing about them is you're saving them from going to landfill and using them as a good safe product. Some of the brands around have things like blood and bone and seaweed and fish meal and that sort of stuff put into them as well. They're a great little way to get some organic matter into your garden really quickly to get the garden popping. Just a little tip, don't leave them in your partner's car on a really hot day, or do. And if you are fascinated by all that mulch, wait to see some of our next videos where we'll show you actually what to do with it, where to put it. Go and see more of these great videos on the My Smart Garden website.